All right, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I want to get into the exact title of the video. If you're moving, you're winning. I also want to point out some other things about traditional Chinese martial arts that if we haven't got past it, we need to start really deciding what we want to do, and either which way is fine. I mean, so I shouldn't say get past it. If you want to stick with that, that's perfectly fine, because there might be benefits that I don't really know about. But Xing Yi, as you guys know, is probably one of my favorite things to do. I love to practice Xing Yi a lot. Um, but a lot of times people will practice San Ti. Dr. Painter spoke about his students that do Xing Yi, and they would hold San Ti for 1 hour in this posture and then 1 hour in the other one, thumb near the navel, looking through the tiger's mouth. I mean, and just holding this posture for 1 hour on each side. So that's 2 hours of your time every day. We all have the same 24 hours. So this is where it's up to you to decide what you want. But teacher would talk about, people that practice weapons. And don't get me wrong, there's probably great benefits to practicing various weapons. But he would talk about how you take like a broadsword or something and you practice 1 or 2 hours a week even. After 10 years, you've probably spent two of those years practicing a weapon that you will never use ever in the streets or in combat. So, and if you are going to use it in combat, did you practice taking a block, blocking with it or whatever? So he said you'd be better off practicing techniques that you will use in combat and spending the time doing that. Now, I was big into wanting to learn weapons, butterfly swords, nunchucks, three-sectional staff. I really wanted to pick these type of weapons up and really learn a lot. But when he said that, it made a lot of sense to me. And so I got that notion out of my head. Now, can a person that's practicing broadsword for 10 years gain big benefits from it? But most likely, I don't know, what the benefits are, because I wouldn't spend that much time. Same thing with San Ti. I would not spend 2 hours of my life doing that stance. I mean, that's just me. I think that's where a lot of Chinese martial artists are stuck to that tradition, to where they don't know how to move. They are stuck, like the example I used with the Tai Chi, and the guy, he just said, you want to, draw him back, and you stuck. That was my big thing in sparring and fighting. If I can get the person to freeze and stay in a position, I own them now. I've got them. I will hit and slam them so fast. It's just, that's what I'm trying to do, is to get them to stop and stay stuck. When teacher said, when he said those words, if you're moving, you're winning, it really clicked in my head. A lot of times teacher would say things, and for those of you that don't know teacher, who I'm referring to, that's Grandmaster Gene L. Chicoine, my adopted dad, my main teacher. So what he would say was, he would say things like one sentence, and he wouldn't even comment about it anymore. Much like he would bring up things that Grandmaster Chang said, he would bring up one thing, and now you have to really decipher what all that meant. But when he said, if you're moving, you're winning, I took it as, if I'm not moving, I'm dead. I mean, even if I'm sleeping, I'm going to move. My belly's going to breathe, my nostrils, whatever. I'm still moving, okay? But if I'm dead, I'm not moving anymore. So I took it like that. I took it that literal, that If I'm not moving, I'm losing. Okay. If I'm moving, I'm winning. Okay. If I'm moving, I'm still alive. If I'm moving, I'm uh, moving toward goals. If I'm stagnant, I'm losing, you guys. So this is the way I took it. All right. You guys can take it any which way you want. And I'm sure somebody that is doing 1 hour of Sati in both stances, they're getting a lot out of it. I mean, not both stances, but both sides. I mean, would I practice uh, sparrow skips across the pond, the Swai Jiao stance for an hour each side? I mean, there's no way. I mean, but to do 30 seconds or a minute every single day, I think that's going to benefit my Swai Jiao greatly. All right. So it's all in what you want, but you have to decide for yourself. If you think, holding, this reaping position, I mean, why wouldn't that be the same thing? Why wouldn't that be the same exact thing as holding Sati for an hour? If I want to hold a reap for 1 hour, okay? I don't understand that concept, me personally. So, Xingyi people, I just had a comment on one of the older videos where I was crossing, and because we always learn to cross, boom, and do it this way. This is traditional crossing way. But then when I saw like Grandmaster Chang doing crossing where the fist cross in this manner, even the back step, and I had just a comment the other day where a guy was talking about he never seen crossing this way, but it makes sense. This whole tradition, and we're put into this box, and you better stick to this, and you better not go outside that box, is just pure slavery in my mind, you guys. So if it's in your mind that way, stick to your tradition and don't deviate and stay in that box. But we all have seen, and I mean, Kung Fu used to be revered at one point. Chinese martial arts was revered, and now it's the absolute laughing stock of the of any martial art, really. And I don't blame, it for being that way, for being the laughing stock. But if we are committed to our Chinese martial arts, then we as Chinese martial artists need to evolve. And evolve doesn't mean to go with the flow of everybody else. Evolve means to keep that brutality. Okay, there was a guy that had a screen name, Elegant Brutality, or something like that. But the beauty is in the brutality of the Chinese martial arts that I know. Okay, so we cannot deviate away from the brutality, because the brutality is what separates us from other arts. Okay, that's why in Swai Jiao we don't flip, we slam. Okay, I want his forehead on the floor. I don't want him to land, like a judo person. So keep this in mind, you guys. And if you want to do our horse stances, I'm sure you're going to get big benefits from it. If you want to do Sati for however long, you're more than welcome to it. I believe Sati evolved in that manner of standing in that posture because of spear. Once spear went away and rifles with bayonet, and this is where that came from. So if you're still fighting with a bayonet, yeah, you're going to keep your hand low. All right. If you don't have a rifle with a bayonet on it or a spear in your hand, then you better keep your hands up. You better hit here, and you better get that back fast. You better not leave it out there, because I'll tell you what, some Muay Thai boxers, Anybody who, Savat people, these people are badass, and they will cut you up with what they're doing. So you better be moving, and as long as you're moving, you're winning. You're definitely not losing. Even if you're getting hit, you're not losing it. The opportunity is still there, okay? And I mean, I know I know a lot of people want me to stick with the um, strength development and these exercises, and I promise I will. But this whole thing of Chinese martial arts being the laughing stock of the martial arts industry really bugs me, and we need to change that, and we're not going to change it by doing this. Okay, I tell you what, you punch anybody like that, or anybody that has a half a brain of knowledge as far as fighting goes, they're going to beat the shit out of you. That's just facts, you guys. So we need to examine what we're doing, why we're doing it. Should we continue to do it that way, or should we evolve from that? All right. So, I'm big on tradition as well, but I mean, to stand in Santee and practice Santee makes no sense to me. Does boxers stand, yet they take a picture for a photo op like that, but do they hold that posture and let me just hold this posture for an hour? Come on. If you're moving, you're winning. Have that play in your mind and play with that sentence and see what you come up with. For me, like I said, if I'm not moving, I'm dead. All right. And that goes for fighting. If I'm not moving, I'm going to get my ass beat. Yeah, I might not be dead, but I'm going to get beat up. All right. If I'm not moving, I better be moving. As long as you're moving, you're winning. All right. You're definitely not losing. And that opportunity to put him on his back and slam him hard on his forehead or on the back of his head is always going to present itself to you when your foot is looking for a foot, as Grandmaster Chang would say. All right, so keep all this in mind, you guys, and I love all the comments. And if you like the video, if it's doing anything to stimulate your brain, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, do so. Why not? It's free. I'm giving you this free. Give me something for free by hitting the subscribe button. All right, that's it for this week. Love you all, and peace be with you.